Hutton's warriors are tired but unbowed. There's still plenty of stamina and people left to continue the education of forces from Sirius. Pilots returning to the orbital to top up on mugs and gin tell tales of adventure, bounties gained, and the lack of will and fortitude shown by their enemies. Now, we truckers prefer to just get along with everyone. But by George, if we're pushed up against the wall, we try not to like it too much, and we'll give people a hard time in return. Some of the pilots peel off from the group and head towards Studio 5. They remove their battle armour, wipe the blood from their cheek. One pilot has a badge that says, "I taught Ace Rimmer all he needed to know about close combat," as she removes her remlock, shakes her silver locks, and makes sure that all of the buttons are done up on her cardigan. The sound of war seems far away now, and this small group of misfits who turn up in the same place, week after week, ignoring the pleas from everyone around them, seem to have an extra spring in their step, and just the slightest dilation of their pupils. As a man sporting what surely will be a beard one day sticks his head in through the open doorway and says,
"Our mics are live."
Good evening, everyone, apart from the night shift for whom it's good afternoon. I'm Harry Balzac, your host for this evening, and today I am accompanied by the seamless Wilma Fingerdo.
Good evening, Harry. Good evening, everyone.
The seamsless Mia Harkness.
Good evening, Harry. Hang on. Was that one of those height references?
Of course not. It's just that you couldn't hear it properly down there. We have the meaningless Juan Kerr.
Never knowingly understood, Harry.
And the peerless Norma Snockers.
Flatterer. Hey, peerless? Is that something to do with my glasses?
Oh, never has a man more urgently needed a bong to rescue him from a clang. Maestro, the headlines, if you please.
Now you don't see it. Now you do.
Epsilon Indy, it's dry, dry, dry again.
Lake Odd Lovelies look like lemons in medium-sized massacre.
What goes around comes around, and around, and around.
From Davy Jones's locker to Davy Jones's lockup.
Suit you.
In Carson and Ari, they thought it was all over.
This week, it's fight night, all right, and expedition position exposition from the community.
The inhabitants of the Sharur system may have thought that one of their moons was auditioning for Brigadoon a couple of weeks ago, when it suddenly disappeared, along with its inhabitants. "That's no moon," the Sharurans said. "No, really, there's no moon." Speculation was rife over what had happened. Would the moon reappear only once every 200 years if someone sang, "It's almost like being in love"? Was the moon a casualty of a super-intelligent pan-dimensional being who needed to make up a set of galactic marbles, and this one was just the right shade of grey? Or a star child playing peekaboo, and if they couldn't see the moon, then neither could we. Any pilot that was unlucky enough to be docked there at the time found that they were unable to re-enter their ship, presumably because the gravity waves caused by the sudden disappearance of the moon. No, we're not sure that it works that way either, but it's the best we've got, so we're sticking with it. For days, people tried to find the moon. Backs of sofas were searched. People returned to the last place they looked, as it was almost certain to be there. High shelves were swept. Even freezers were emptied because of that one time you left your keys in there by mistake. Nothing. Not a sausage. Not a crater. Not a point of interest. Nada. Had the dastardly Don taken the moon because the people of Sharur hadn't paid their protection money, and this was a demonstration of just how delicate moons can be? They can get broken if they aren't looked after. Just when everyone else was about to give up and say sayonara to the lost pilots of Sharur, a note appeared, apologising for the missing moon. The note was signed by the magnificent Sally Morgan Morrow, who had apparently been helping a magician friend with a trick, and they'd got stuck after making the moon disappear, and it had taken them a few days to remember the knack to bring it back. Sally has promised that she'll stick in future to pulling a Momus Bog Spaniel out of a hat, cutting a pink wafer in half and turning red wine and Coke into water.
There's been a hiccup in the supply of Epsilon Indy's most delicious export, the famed bourbon that is advertised on many a station wall. Pilots have been unable to leave or enter the system without considerable trouble. Now, obviously, there are only two reasons to call it Epsilon Indy: the aforementioned bourbon and Mitterrand Hollow. Rumours of the latter being the cause were unfounded, as the likelihood of it going off like a billiard ball break and pinging off the other planets was pretty low. Instead, prohibitionists of the most puritanical kind, the Epsilon Indy Purple Central faction, appear once again to have stopped traffic in the delicious beverage. It is believed that they've hacked into the nav beacon so that when ships arrive in the system, all of their ships' flight functions shut down, forcing them to call for the local Horizons towing service so that they can dock. The duty-free shops at the stations have all been closed, and there have been rumours of prohibitionists pouring perfectly good bourbon into the drains, which has sparked a sudden uptake in people applying for the job of station sanitation officers, who've assured the authorities that they don't need to provide a uniform nor any equipment, as they have their own siphon tube and a large container. The Pilots Federation does not approve of this behaviour, and have asked that any pilots who have been affected by this issue should get in touch, where a counsellor will ply them with old-fashioned until it stops hurting.
On Saturday just gone, the assembled hordes of Hotbox gathered in a Hazres at Wolf 1481 to expose their prodigiousness and to honour the legend that is buck naked by using only Lake-on ships for the evening's entertainment. The plan was to have Type 7s mining the res, while small and medium Lake-on ships protected them. Any ne'er-do-wells in the area would be so tempted by the freshly mined goodies that they would ignore the swarm of heavily armed and engineered ships in an effort to get their hands on all that tasty cargo. Things got off to a slow start as Commander Marco 2612, that's me, began mining operations and soon gathered a glorious 6 tons of liquid oxygen. Sadly, the pirate scum circling the area were not tempted by the goodies on offer. They zoomed around all over the place, and Hotbox pilots picked off anyone with a pad loitering ticket or an unpaid bill at Wanda's. Well, those thumbs don't pay for themselves, you know. I still don't understand why you all insist on wearing those under your flight suits. I mean, I get it with space pirates. They can double it up as an eye patch, but the rest of you? Anyway, you can imagine the excitement when some brave soul decided to launch a hatchbreaker limpet and stole some of my precious liquid oxygen. Everyone tensed. Then one poor bugger sneezed and almost cut himself in 3, and that is why you should always go a size bigger than you think you need. Anyway, experimental lasers were charged, overcharged multi-cannons spun up, and Guardian Shard cannons spat out whatever it is that they spat out. Well folks, it turns out that the one person who actually pirated the Type 7 was also the one person who got away. He was off into the depths like a shot to trade his cargo for, well, I assume less money than he paid for the limpets he used to steal it. Oh, bless his wee piratey socks. With the Type 7 sidelined, the rest of the evening went very smoothly, with only some of us accidentally shooting their friends and colleagues before being sent off to the Pillar of Fortitude to pay our debt to society. Good news though, The aforementioned prison ship was only one jump away, so we were back in no time at all. Bounties were duly handed in at Alden Prospect, and we all reconvened in the bar, where we remain, awaiting delivery of our legs in leg-shaped parcels.
While some commanders received the latest upgrade to their ship interface, anyone using the Steam courier and distribution system appears to have parcel 1 of 2, but 2 of 2 appears to have been sent to a neighbouring galaxy. The delivery driver duly marked them as handed to resident and scarpered. Replacements were dispatched by the Pilots Federation, who opened an investigation into where the second half of their interface update went. In the meantime, pilots with only half a ship's brain have been sampling the delights of the orange sidewinder as it spins round and round and round. As with the legendary hypnotoad of the planet Moroni, this causes them to have a bit of a moment and tune in to Lave Radio to listen to a lot of Enya from the part-time DJ and full-time tailor Eddie Lee Wise. The good news for pilots who found themselves getting more than just a little dizzy is that the Pilots Federation has dispatched a replacement set of interface updates, and that if pilots are still having difficulties, then please look on their mat for a little card. Check their recycling bin for any unexpected parcels, and look in the branches of any trees that they may have outside, in case the delivery driver was scared by a Momus Bog Spaniel and is hiding in the upper branches.
Pirates are naughty, but it appears that their naughtiness has been downgraded from just horrid to a bit of a scamp. Yes, for the last few weeks, pirates hanging around in anarchy systems, the only places that actually like pirates, have found themselves with a dilemma. Just by existing, they've plummeted their piratical palace position in the influence tables down to the bottom, and many pirate havens have changed hands, turning into nice little shopping centres or commercial districts. The pirates, up in arms, or in some cases one arm and a mean-looking hook, complained to the Pilots Federation that no one loved them anymore, and without somewhere to put their big booty, and indeed their big booty being booted from their favourite hangouts, piracy on the high galactic highway was likely to increase. As there is nothing so dangerous as a bored pirate, and nothing so nasty as a bored pirate boarding, the good news is that their hangouts have now been legitimised once again, and all is well in the land of Yar.
Eager collectors everywhere have rejoiced that another Suit Drop Thursday has arrived, so that outfitters once more have those elusive G3 Artemis suits in stock. However, as before, it's one at a time and at random locations. In a galactic crossbreed between Pokemon and geocaching, commanders are taking advantage of cheap taxi rides to visit stations in the hopes that just one of these elusive pre-engineered suits might be available somewhere near, whilst earning a few arts into the bargain. Galactic mega swapsies have ensued, with commanders running around shouting "Need" and "Got" at the tops of their lungs, then posting selfies with shop assistants holding heavily engineered weaponry and stating "First come, first served," before a mini gold rush descends on the station and there's a big queue at the pad. All this just to put a little more lead in their pencil. Sorry, kinetic armament.
The security lockdown we have been reporting for the previous 3 weeks in Barnard Star has finally been lifted, thanks to the efforts of many a trucker. However, Barnard Star now has both a pending outbreak and a pending state of civil unrest. bloody show-offs, that's just attention-seeking. Until the adverse states hit tomorrow, drop carto data and run missions and trade to boost Hutton influence. But fleet carriers should be prepared, ready to bring in bucket loads of meds to relieve the outbreak when it hits. Also, not to be outdone, Epsilon Indy also has an outbreak, so if you have surplus doses of medicines, drop them there. If, of course, your ship doesn't break down trying to get into or out of the system. As we foreshadowed last week, the Barnard Star security problem has merely moved to Alpha Centauri, which has just now slipped into lockdown, so drop bounties at either Aldin or Hutton. In addition, Sirius Corporation are within 2% of Hutton in Alpha Centauri, so we are likely to see a rerun of the recent war, which clearly they weren't serious about. Meanwhile, in Carson and Ari, we thought it was all over. It isn't now. Annoyingly, Hutton scored a last-minute equaliser deep into stoppage time, in fact on the 8th day of what promised to be a 7-day war. I hope it wasn't one of you lot. So it appears that we cannot check out at any time we like, nor ever leave. Welcome to Hotel Carson and Ari. At the top end of the Hutton System League, what have you daft overachieving buggers been up to this week? Oh yes, 3 systems are significantly above 60%, and it's time for another game of Russian system roulette, as a 4th has already popped and gone into expansion. Sometime, somewhere. Meanwhile, in Colonia, Commissar Hankey asked that truckers work towards the election we are in with the Colonia Cooperative in Pythias. We still need to leave Hotel Carson and Ari where... Oh, sod it. I'm so bored of trying to leave that place. Haven't they heard of an express checkout? Priorities this week. If you want to truck something, truck stuff into Barnard Star to lift the influence and truck meds to break the pending outbreak. If you want to shoot something, turn in bounties in Alpha Centauri to lift the lockdown. We still need to exit Carcinari, so do something.
It's time, once again, to bring you up to date with events out there, organised by and for the Elite Dangerous community. First, it's those armchair explorers, the Comfy Cannon Cruise, with the fleet carrier Konsu taking its luxury passengers to the 124 waypoints of the original Cannon Challenge. Commander Mephisto writes, "Nothing much worth noting happened in the 14th week of the Comfy Cannon Cruise while sailing through calm seas, but the waypoint features were of interest nonetheless. There were more K and E-type anomalies to be seen, also the capsule and the bulb genera of mollusks. Services were held in the Mosque of Molly daily to revere the sacred creatures appropriately. Details of the cruise are at bit.ly Comfy Cannon Cruise." News from the Inner Orion Spur has reached us, sent by the Artemis Biological Survey as they continue their expedition in search of new biological features and exceptional geological formations. Commander Alistair Hope has sent us this report. This week, the Artemis Biological Survey reached its 4th waypoint in the Crescent Nebula. Since the beginning of the expedition, the participants have collected data of 67 species living on planets with a thin atmosphere, which corresponds to 261 subspecies, coloured variants. This has generated an amount of genetic data sold to Vista Genomics of 861 million credits, spread over 59 commanders who upload their data into the Secrabog database. That's the System for Information Collection and Referencing of Biological, Organic and Geological Samples. Before the photographic documentation of the species, the data collected, 3,071 entries at this point, allows us to rapidly increase our knowledge on the living conditions of the different species. Note that this Friday we are organising an exobiology contest. It will be about scanning the largest number of species possible in a limited time, allowing participants to compete on their competence in exobiological research and analysis. Details of the expedition, including their Discord, being operated jointly in English and French, can be found at bit.ly Artemis Survey 2. In the last item, if the last item piqued your interest and you're curious about life, Jim, but not as we know it, then as well as the Artemis survey mission, those stalwarts of the stars, the Titan contractors, who are always on the lookout for new ways to expand our knowledge of the galaxy whilst having fun, are currently, amongst other things, undertaking what they're calling the Calypso mission. This was started to put one of their divisions, Mantis Analytics, at the forefront of their research. To accomplish this, they created the TSV Journey vessel, its only current objective being to retrieve and catalogue samples of all known organic life. The homepage, which includes a Discord invite where you'll be able to see what they've found so far, is at bit.ly Titan Calypso. Time once again this weekend for CQC Saturday, organised by Commander Venezia, but open to all platforms. It starts at 9 PM UK time, which is 2000 UTC. If you wanted to have a go at CQC but wanted to try it with like-minded folk, then this is your chance. It's great fun, as of course there's no rebuy and no bounties or notoriety to worry about. Even Flossy has been known to have a go, but has had to retire because it tends to bring out the worst in her, and the screams of triumph as she destroys yet another ship has tended to put other players off. Details are on our Facebook events page, and details are being posted into the chat.
I don't know what you're laughing for, that's not funny.
Time to start building your underground shelters, as it's less than 4 weeks now until King Hanky's party on the 14th of July. An event that's been signalled further in advance than government policy changes. If you're prepared to take your life and your liver in your hands, then details of the bash to celebrate King Hanky's 6th Fleet carrier are on our Facebook events page, posted in the chat. And that concludes the roundup of community-led events this week.
And the news is put to bed there. That was fun. Well done there, Helen. Keep managing to keep it together there.
Oh, goodness.
Almost.
You rotten stuff. You really are.
Laughing at our poor victims, I think that's shocking.
I think
Stop
I
making faces at her across the table, you.
I'm shocked and dismayed.
played CQC once.
Yeah, and you were never allowed back. What does that tell you?
It was on the Xbox.
I thought you were just banned from the park.
Yeah. It's like not inhaling if you do it on the Xbox, is it? Doesn't count.
You wait till I get my Xbox fired up again.
Yeah,
It's under my desk.
she's
I'll
going to
get it
come
again.
gunning for you.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Well, that was a nice lot of news, everybody.
Yeah.
Nine.
Now we got the talky bits.
Yes.
9 bongs. Wow.
Yes. Well, they were quite short, and they were. Didn't really want to leave any of those out. There were since most of them were shortish. I thought that would work for us.
Well, the truth has to be told.
You want it to be told, yes. Talking of doing things on foot.
Yes.
There was Frontier live stream, wasn't there?
Yes, this has upset me.
And this.
What has upset you?
The fact that they don't have any plans to include full VR on foot.
At the moment.
I know it's at the moment. The thing is, I play exclusively in VR.
I used to.
So, I mean, it's really weird for me to play on a screen. Because it's like
You'll have your
going.
VR, but you'll have your sort of flat screen on a VR screen.
Well, don't go on foot then. You might as well play on an Xbox. Oh,
Yeah,
you can't do VR.
We're going down that. We're going down that line again.
Is
aren't
that
we?
catch 23?
I haven't
It's a game-changing
I haven't
thing.
actually been playing at all on foot because I cannot stand playing out of VR. When you've experienced VR, I mean, I have a high-end rig, so when you've experienced it that way and you suddenly switch to a screen, it's like you're half blind.
I'm used
You
to
don't
it.
want
now.
to try it. You can't just dismiss it out of hand.
I don't
went-
dismiss
I went-
it. I
I
did
went
try
backwards.
it, but I couldn't get on with it.
I love it. I don't care about the VR.
Yeah, but
I have
suppose,
VR, but I never use it fully, actually.
Yeah, but maybe
Learn
that's
to
the
live
thing. If you're
without
not used to it, you won't notice. But if you're used to using it, you're.
And I could see that the awkwardness would be switching backwards and forwards would be awkward, I suppose. Because if you had a decent screen, you might be better off without wearing the headset and looking at the screen. Because I don't know what quality the flat screen is in Odyssey.
Is that flat screen in VR? Is that what they call pancake mode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That's me.
Anyway, it's summer. You just think how hot your face gets in
Yeah.
summer with VR headset on.
Yeah.
I have it on for half an hour, done me a bit
Yeah, so-
Saber, and it's all I can stand.
I know.
Think of 2D as the summer mode.
Is my mascara keeps running.
I noticed that when I saw you yesterday. You were like, Alice
that
Cooper.
was a black eye.
Yeah. Well, if you will come to Glasgow.
Well, you did roll out the drunk guy with the Buckfast bottle.
Now, he is a very high-end performance artist. We don't get him out for just anybody.
Yeah.
Right, you'll find that drunk, shouty Glaswegian was
With Buckfast.
with Buckfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you noticed that. That's not an easy thing to roll out, you know.
It was very good. I was impressed.
It's easier rolling them out than trying to roll them back in, but you know.
Thank God you didn't put the bagpiper on her.
Yeah. Oh no. It's his day off. You can only have one.
What?
Can
Oh,
only
teased.
treat you to so much culture. We can't. If we put them both on the same day, you just move up here, and then we couldn't have that. We couldn't have that. Yes.
So what else did they talk about in that? No VR. I kind of switched off after that in the live stream. Anybody watch the live stream tonight? No. It's kind of
Tonight was lots of. Tonight was.
Oh, it was screenshots, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all
Yeah,
about
I-
stellar screenshots and things.
Was it good?
I thought so. I mean, he was talking about some of the stuff's kind of standard stuff that like the rule of threes, where you divide your screen up into 9 and try to get your objects of focus either on the line or even better if you can get them at the intersection of lines. So if you drew like a noughts and crosses board on your screen kind of thing, and it would be in there somewhere, if you know what I mean. You want to get the junctions is where you want to have your objects.
I tried that, but after a couple of minutes, I couldn't see the picture behind it for all those bloody lines and circles.
Yeah, well, if you want,
Crosses.
yeah. Did you win though?
No.
But it went through some stuff like that and about how to use the focus tools and things like that as well for moving from near focus to far, like an infinite distance kind of focus thing, and that it was really, really clever stuff. I come away from it thinking I'll have to get back and give screenshots a go again.
Well, Mr. Palantir knows that he has an endless supply. It's quite good in Odyssey as well. The controls, the camera, the way they change the options menu, where you do on foot, SRV, and ship separate. I really like that. The fact that all the camera controls are in one place. It's about the only thing of the UI. I think
I'm
they
sure
went
I'll
to the
like
right
it in the
direction.
autumn when I see it.
It's good. You just do it in one place. It's good.
Yeah.
And the zoom feature's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice he gave straight off was take your time. Don't try to snatch. I was going to say snatch and go. Don't try and grab a photograph and then shoot off. Take your time, line it up, do all the things, and get it just right.
You got to get it though. The sun's going down over the horizon. You're going, oh.
Yeah. But
Don't you jump up in the air?
He did say,
You've
take
been
your
to
time.
Meter on Hollow, have you?
Yeah.
Mind you, you take the
sun's
same
going
shot.
down,
86
yeah.
seconds later, it's there again.
The sun's going down, the sun's coming up. The sun's going down, the sun's coming up. I feel sick.
It's like being on the ISS.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that one that you ever did, Aemilia? Did you ever go to meet her on Hollow in VR?
I think
Gone quiet.
I think she's gone for a break.
Sorry, we talking to me then? Sorry.
No, I was talking to Aemilia.
No. Sorry, I missed what you said. I was reading something.
Aemilia!
Oh, Aemilia. All right.
Yeah.
No, she's not there. She's gone.
You're very quiet. If you, oh well.
Yeah. And we had
Moving on then.
I saw a thing on Twitter the other day. Was the Elite Dangerous Pride Rainbow, which they did with many coloured lasers and an asteroid.
That was on the Tuesday live stream as well. It was good.
Was
Nice
it
picture.
on? Yeah, it's a fantastic picture.
But did you notice
Did I notice what?
2 of the ships?
Oh yeah, 2 of them aren't shooting.
All right. Flossie, got something to tell us?
Nope.
We know you don't
wasn't-
like shooting.
Yeah, it wasn't you who wasn't shooting, Flossy. Because we
No.
all know what she's like.
If I was, you'd see purple from me.
Yeah,
Mm.
if she was,
Got
you'd
pur-
see
that
ship
purple
wreckage
man in
everywhere. There'd be ship wreckage all over the place. We know.
It's like a scrapyard.
I don't have any guns.
Oh, just this one that slipped into my handbag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any. I don't have any obvious guns.
I don't have any guns.
But yeah, there's a wee Twitter thing there. I don't know if you've posted it in the chat, have you? Yeah, you have. And that image is brilliant. I think it's really impressive.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, very nice.
I think it was weeks in the planning and at least an hour to get everybody into position.
I imagine. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty impressive.
That poor asteroid.
Yeah.
Testing. Am I coming through yet?
Oh,
Yes, there you are.
Ah, there you
Okay.
are.
There I am. No, I've never been to Mitterrand Hollow.
You've never been
Extra
to
loud
Mitterrand
and-
Hollow.
fire.
And clear.
That is it's a lot of fun. What you have to do to land in Mitterrand Hollow is fly towards it as it flies towards you.
Yeah,
'Cause you'll
stand
never
there and wait
catch
for it to smack into you. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never catch it if you
Let it
chase
mess
it. So
with
you
you.
have to let it. You have to let the moon come towards you.
I was going to say that's the one that goes so fast around the sun that you actually can't go as fast as what that's going.
Yeah, you have
Yep.
to let it come towards
Yeah.
you, and then you can land
like
on it.
that.
And as you look, the planet of New Africa rolls across. It kind of back rolls across the sky, right over the top of you, and the whole sequence. I think the whole orbit takes something like. Did you say 86 seconds?
86 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
Jesus.
been there.
No, it is fascinating to watch, and it's very useful if you've told someone you won't be back for 23 days.
It's what it is good is once you get into that whole kind of system of, that kind of descending towards a planet, you're just into a normal planet, but actually catching it in the first place is
Yeah.
tricky.
Yet many a time you get there and you think, right, I'm sure I'm in the right spot, and there it goes, straight
Yes.
past my ear. Yeah.
I have to switch orbit lines back on and line myself up for it.
That sounds like it's going to go on my to-do list.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah,
it is.
probably
It
should.
is.
It's
But fun.
worth doing.
It's as unique as Hutton in that,
Yeah.
but in the exact opposite of
It's
the
as unique
time
as
scale.
Hutton, as unique as Hutton, in that it was a mistake that people went, no, leave it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch that. Don't touch that. We like it the way it is. But there you go. So yeah, it's a great place to. I mean, once you're down, it's great. But it's seeing the planet rolling above you in the sky is fantastic.
Cool. That's definitely going on my to-do list.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's a good test of a certain kind of piloting. I'm not going to land. I'm not coming to you. You're coming to me. Variety.
Yeah. 4 stars out of 5. Would recommend. Don't like gift shop.
Let's looked at the patch notes for today's update.
I'm still reading them from this morning.
Yeah,
they're
there's a lot
fairly
there.
copious.
Yeah. And one of the effects is they've changed a lot of the way the menus work again, which is one of the reasons that we are Vanty-ernless this evening, because he's working on getting Gravity voice
they're
pack
to be
working.
commended on that at least.
Well, yes, it's a bit of variety.
Yeah. No, I'd just like to thank God to get rid of the floating crate. And I don't mean the ship.
Chef, no. Have they got rid of the invisible rocks? Simon, have you found? You need to go and find invisible rocks.
I hit a few today.
Um,
I did hear on the live stream though they couldn't find them. I'm like, where did you look?
Well,
They're
I mean,
everywhere.
that
but
is
there's no point looking. You can't see them.
That is
I
the
know,
thing
but
about
you just
invisible
crash
rocks.
into them.
Yeah.
I think
Just run round a bit.
Can I just check? Do other people get invisible rocks as well, or is it only Simon?
Oh, I've seen.
No,
I've seen other people post about them. Yeah.
All right. Okay then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know this. I know my machine's getting a bit old, but
You've hit the edge of the reality boundary.
yeah, pretty much.
It's like in the Truman Show. You've now reached the wall.
Yeah, that was about 43 years ago. I did like in the middle of the patch notes between Thargoids and the UI bit. I don't know if you've seen the UI bit, but it's about, take a wild guess, it's about 100 lines. And it just says, deep breath.
It's all gone quiet.
I know.
Sorry.
I thought somebody was about to shout, oh, Aardvark.
Aardvark.
No.
Yes,
Aardvark.
I've stopped.
No, before you do that.
No, we can't do that yet.
Oh.
Well, there's stuff to do.
We got 2 more things to do before that.
Yeah.
We certainly
Was it-
have.
What's one of them?
Right. The first one.
He's paging
It's
Mr. Shouty.
Yes,
Oh,
we'll
no.
try and
We're gonna
find
do
Shouty. Well, if we can get him, if we can find him, he keeps disappearing.
Paging Lord Shouty of Gnome. Lord Shouty of Gnome.
He
Well, he
was in TeamSpeak and then disappeared again.
He was in Twitch chat as well earlier as well.
I saw him in Twitch chat, yeah. Well, we talk about the other thing then.
Yes, there's the other thing. So a charity thing.
He's gone
Yes,
out of
So
that too.
we like charity. We
We
like charity.
charity.
Commander Shoreside Customs, or Paul Jarrett Hayes,
Yes.
he's doing the sort of thing that Van Tern did, but at the opposite side of his head. He's trying to get money for charity to cut off his ponytail.
If I knew he had a ponytail, I would never have spoken to him in the first place.
I know.
But
How long is the ponytail?
It's pretty long. Somebody could stand behind him with it held out in scissors, put it that way.
my wife's father always said that if you lift a ponytail, you'll find a horse's arse underneath. But but anyway, so Shoreside Customs is raising money for Dr. Kershaw's hospice, and asking people to donate. And he's got a Just Giving page. I'll put some links in a second.
Yeah.
But what he said is the person who donates the largest amount can actually come and do the chopping off personally, as long as they can get to Hayside Cricket Club on the planned date of Sunday, the 12th of September. And he said, if we reach the target of 1,000, I will personally donate 100.
Oh!
Yeah, somebody changed the script. And I since I put this in before, I knew what it was supposed to be. And have my head shaved as well. That was in there originally.
Yes.
Now, that sounds like a challenge. Details on his Just Giving page, and I've just posted that into the chat. So if you're listening to this, it's bit.ly/chopthepony.
Yes.
I've read the small print and it says nothing about not using chainsaws.
Yeah, it doesn't
Well,
say
you can do it from the front. Just do it from the front until you reach it.
Yep.
Yeah. Start at the bottom. Start
Nothing
at his
about
feet and work
fly
your way up.
Wood chippers.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
No,
if it's wood chipper, obviously you want to put them in feet first.
You've watched The Sopranos too often.
No, I was actually just thinking save the ponytail till last.
Well, you've got to hold him in there by something, haven't you? You don't
Yeah.
want him to just shoot through in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Paging
I-
Mr. Shouty.
I know that Chatty did want to come along and talk about the Muggies and what's happening.
Are you going to improvise?
No, because I wouldn't dare. But I know that they're working very hard to try and get this stuff out, and they wanted to have a bigger set of prizes, but for some reason, the last 12 months have been a bit of a cock up
Why? What's
in the
happening?
world. Yeah.
You don't say.
So they've not been able to get what they wanted. So they will looks just like, as far as I understand, it will just be the Muggy themselves going out, but that's what most people wanted. Hopefully they'll be sent out in the traditional 2-piece format like they were last time. With all you need is a little DLC of TLC with a bit of glue, and you can have your own muggy. So we'll bring you news as and when we get it.
Shouty says he's in TeamSpeak.
Well, where he disappeared? Whereabouts?
He was earlier. I saw him.
Yeah,
He says he's in TeamSpeak just now.
Whereabouts?
I'm just about to find out.
Don't see him.
No, he disappeared. He crashed out when I was talking to him.
He was in the landing pad.
Maybe he's been kicked out and doesn't know he's been kicked out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Exit and come back in again.
Oh, there he is. Cubicle 3.
Yeah, just you can't see me there.
Hey! There he is.
Comrade Winard.
No.
Hello.
I'm very good. How is everybody?
Oof, God.
All right, thanks. How are you? Yeah.
Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, good. Right.
Good.
And then there was silence.
And there
Go
was
on,
silence.
Talk
Right.
about all things
Talk
muggy.
to us, yeah.
Oh, am I alive on the radio? Am I?
You're live on the wireless,
live
Comrade
on
Winard.
the air.
It's not live radio. It's the other one.
Oh,
It's the one
well.
where everything goes wrong all the time.
Oh, Barnard Star Radio. Yeah, that's the one. Right.
Yeah, okay, that's the one.
Okay, right. Well, as you're well aware, we had the Muggies earlier on in this year, and the big issue has been trying to get everything together, really. Last year, for the first Muggies, as you might know, we did a huge package of lots of goodies, lots of bits and pieces, and the packages were absolutely amazing. So we were just trying to get the same thing for this year together, to give everyone a nice little gift for doing their thing for Hutton and doing all the things for the mug. Unfortunately, as you are well aware, that COVID hit us, and it hit us with a vengeance. With, there's certain events this month that won't be going ahead, and next month it won't be going ahead. Mm-hmm. So we needed to get everybody in work, basically, and it's just not really happened. But what we do have is all the statuette and a few other little things that Nocti has done, which, he's an amazing person, so...
He is.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, I've got quite a few addresses because there's a lot of people on there who I've sent stuff to before and what have you, so... But if you are a winner, and I mean a winner, not a nomination, an actual winner, and you think that we haven't got your address, just send me either a message on Discord, messenger on Facebook, or send an email to themuggies2019@gmail.com, and we will try and get your winner's merchandise to you ASAP now. We just basically cut our losses and decided, right, let's get all these out and draw a line under what's been quite a difficult year for everything and everybody. So I hope that explains where we are with the Muggies at the moment. We haven't forgotten about you. We were just trying to get everything.
Yeah, it can't be easy with the way things are just now. And having to send all of those things for that amount of people. Yeah. It's some of them are going to be pretty bulky, some of them are going to be delicate and all that kind of thing as well. And trying to get them all into the one place is going to be tricky.
Very.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy in the best of times, even when we've got all the mugs to hand and people's addresses.
Yeah.
So, in this current climate, it's not an easy process at all. So,
but it's coming along.
It is coming along. We are getting there, and it's just now we've decided this is what we're going to do, and hopefully, when everything returns to some sort of normality, we can have something sort of a similar nature and get things together in a reasonable time period. But
you call what we have normality?
Normality?
What is normal?
What is normal?
Well, normally doing a docket every month.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should contact you separately about Dockers.
A little bit of a spoiler. We will be doing something for LaveCon. There is going to. I think they mentioned about virtual things, so we will get something together of some description. We've got our pub quiz sorted anyway, so we're definitely going to be doing that. So
I'm so up for that. A LaveCon pub quiz, that'll be good.
And
Might
yeah,
I might be able to do another one in Second Life if anyone's interested.
the other thing we're waiting for is on a big event scale like we normally do for delivering mug to every station in the galaxy type thing. We are looking at things. We're just trying to find something where I'm not going to get all salty on Odyssey or anything like that. It is what it is. But once we can get people into some sort of togetherness, shall we say,
Yeah.
we have some ideas of things we would like to try. So there's also that in the pipeline as well. So.
Imagine though a pub quiz in the bar at Hutton.
Well, exactly. I mean, that'd be quite amusing.
Yeah.
We could make it like Among Us and inject everyone who finishes last.
Yes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
That'd be me out straight away.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen some contenders. I might have been one of them last week.
But but like I say, it has been a difficult year, and
Yeah.
It has.
So
It still is, really. I mean, it's still ongoing.
It's a year
I'm
and a
missing
bit.
everybody. I need to see everybody.
Oh.
Yeah,
But-
you'll say that until you see them, and then you remember why you
Yeah,
didn't want to see
exactly.
them.
Yeah, that's it.
That'll all come flooding back to you. You've blocked those memories out. You know that, don't you?
Back to lockdown for 2 years just to get over it.
Oh, we had a little mini meet yesterday.
There was that. That's.
Oh, lovely.
Is that you going
Nice.
on about my height again?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Was that the picture I saw on Facebook?
That was a
Yes.
picture you saw on Facebook.
Was it on Facebook?
Ah, yeah.
That was us in Glasgow,
Yeah, outside the
Nice.
Gordon Street coffee shop,
where they make
I
Hutton
haven't seen
coffee.
that.
Really?
Yes.
apparently. God, it's-
There's no bad way about it. They definitely
give me
do.
whiskey any day of the week.
Yeah.
They make it,
I've been awake for 28 hours.
apparently they make it out of cigarette ash and...
Fag ash and
I know
regret.
it was all blowing out the window.
That's the one. Yep.
The tears of those who never made it to Hutton.
Yeah, there's that. Because if your coffee's not salty enough, that'll do it for you, you know.
Salty
Teary enough.
coffee. Ugh.
It's like salty caramel. You should get used to it. Yeah, but the Hutton coffee is a very dark. It's a dark French roast coffee, so it's
Very strong.
smoky.
Yeah, very
Smoky is how they describe it.
Did a stranger come up behind you in the street and whisper something in your ear?
Yeah, but that happens all the time.
You know why they call it smoky?
Oh no! Why do they call it smoky?
Because you taste it and all you can do is cough.
Yes, yeah. Well, you can ask. In fact, you didn't even have the Hutton blend, the Hutton stuff yesterday. We just went for the Glasgow roast, and he asked
You were
to select.
driving. You were in charge.
Yeah,
So the one that tastes like mud.
yeah. No, yeah. It was ground fresh that morning.
God. The
Ground
Porton Down know about that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, he was having that
My
coffee.
hands
and
were shaking. I was
hands were
sweating. My
shaking,
heart was
yeah.
going. I thought,
Definitely, he was definitely dicing with death.
buzzing.
I must admit, I do like that Hutton coffee. It's very, very tasty.
Yes.
It is, yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't have that yesterday though. We just had the mild stuff, you know.
Was it it was Glasgow special or something?
It was Glasgow roast.
I actually still have some Hutton coffee beans here. I was thinking about coating them with chocolate.
You probably could, yeah.
Yeah, it could.
I've had those before.
Or something like that.
I was in a manager's office at work and there was a wee bowl of them all individually wrapped. I went, oh, chocolate's now ate one, and it would have coffee.
Either
been inside.
that or the sheep got in there again.
Yeah, yeah, they'd the rabbits in. But why they would individually wrap their droppings, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
they have that coffee that passes through the system. Maybe we could make
Oh, the
something ourselves.
civets. Yeah, the stuff
civet,
that they give
yeah,
to
civet.
civets, yeah. I would give that a go. I would definitely try it. I would drink that so you don't have to.
Maybe it's one for Amelia's food segment.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe, then again, maybe not.
I haven't scrolled that far in the script. Yeah, I need to read.
Oh, I don't know what we're having.
What are we
today.
getting? Oh my! Oh no! Oh lordy!
Oh.
Oh God! Look at that!
Oh, you don't want one of them.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
I know nothing. I
Yes.
say nothing.
That's it. You don't read it ahead of time, do you? You don't.
No, I like to be surprised. I like to be surprised as much as
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah. Because what you normally find is that you'll have a David typing that or a Sean changing it as you're reading it.
Yeah.
They often put tongue twisters in, so I try to avoid it so that one day maybe I'll slip up and they'll all get their jollies.
Yes. There again, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I like to keep them, in hope.
Yes.
Oh, the secret is not to use tongue twisters. The secret is to use a selection of words that make a rude sentence.
Yes. So there we go. That would seem to be that. Is this the part where we shout aardvark?
Aardvark!
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 Aardvark is a safe word, shouty.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about safe words, and I think it was me that said one of the normal safe words is aardvark because it's something that you don't say very often.
Well, you might not.
And so it's become a thing.
I just thought it was because if you needed to look it up in the dictionary in a hurry, it won't take you very long to find it. or if the book flips over, you go zygote.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't shout armadillo. That means twice as hard and 3 times as fast. Don't
Crunchy on the outside, smooth on the inside.
Yeah. Who likes armadillos?
I thought the trick was not to use harder as your safe word.
Yeah.
And on that note,
yes.
Norm, are you ready with the button to do the thing when I've done my talky thing? Yeah,
Fingers poised.
It has been said, but all right. Okay, and here we go. Pestilence has fallen upon the house of Wotherspoon this week. We think it's something that he tried to digest that he disagreed with. We wish Commander Wotherspoon a speedy recovery, not least because it gives Beetlejude more time on her hands, and the last time that happened, she ended up painting the inside of her house so that it looked like a Space Sistine chapel. To raise our spirits whilst we hold a vigil, you can hardly call one unlit candle and a card with deepest sympathy crossed out and get well soon written in crayon a vigil, but we do what we can. Disguised as a party, we're going to play a song from Commander Vex called Eye of the Trucker.
Automated docking.
And after that rousing call to arms, what better than Flossy with the CG news?
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. No CGs to report on for last week, as there weren't any. This week we have a new CG, Engineered Detailed Surface Scanner Initiative. Sirius Corporation has requested Commodities to make a fully engineered detailed surface scanner commercially available. The ship module was produced in limited numbers during a terraforming program campaign by Sirius Atmospherics in late 3306. It was awarded to pilots who provided data on worlds with ammonia-based atmospheres for its terraforming program. Sinclair Feraldo, Marketing Director for Sirius Corporation, provided details. Following a feasibility study, we have determined that this module can be economically mass-produced for general sale. Our fully engineered detailed surface scanner has twice the probe coverage, allowing planets and moons to be mapped more efficiently. In order to begin production, we require large quantities of CMM composites, muon images and synthetic reagents. We will generously reward pilots who can deliver these to Ashby City in the Lytton star system. If the initiative is successful, Sirius Corporation will make the module available for purchase at all human technology brokers by the 25th of June 3307. Each tier reached will further reduce the resources required for acquiring the module in the first 2 weeks of availability. Niobium base requirements 24, reduced by 3 for each tier above tier 1. Mechanical components base requirements 28, reduced by 4 for each tier above tier 1. Germanium base requirements 22, reduced by 3 for each tier above tier 1. And mechanical scrap base requirements 26, reduced by 4 for each tier above tier 1. If the initiative is successful, Sirius Corporation will gift the module to the top 75% of contributing pilots. The module will be placed in storage at the Ashby City Starport in the Lytton star system by the 25th of June. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering CMM composites, muon images and synthetic reagents to Ashby City Station in the Lytton star system. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you to Flossy. An interesting CG, but some of us already have one, don't you know? Time now for the apology officer to discover the galaxy's most underrated games and pastimes. It's over to the Sports Report.
Welcome to the Hutton Sports Report. The Hutton Sports Report is sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a free jam hat to wear when you eat jam. Mine is a stripy top hat with red hatband and pom-poms on it. This week's following events: the Mad Explorers Tea Party Explorathon, the We Told You Before About Smoking the Product Bio-Waste Mover Cup, the Those Packets of White Powder, I'm carrying those for a friend Gullibility Challenge, the If I Kill That Smuggler, Can I Keep His Drugs Shield, the Why Up to the Moon in Combat Stims Tournament of Tournaments Tournament, and the It's the Cops, Get Rid of This Quick speedrun. So, cavity searches will get you sin-binned, type 9's full of onion head are worth double, and never take a package through customs for a friend. The classified results are Lydia of the Void, 99, Crim Shadow, 40, Light 027, 56, Oh Dead, 56. Light 027 wins in a photo finish. Montgomery Python, 494.5. Holiday Hero, 184. Argon Tenaeus, 154. Scully with lots of L's, 134. James the Fox, 1046. Iron Beagle, 339. Simmons, 647. Antarius Fusion, 595. North Britain Beyond the Wall, 0. Foreign Land, 2. South Britain Englandshire, 1. Johnny Foreigner, 0. West Britain Dragonland, 1. C4G, that's Cuckoo Clocks, Chocolate, Cheese and Goats, 1. Alpha Centauri Centaurs, 2. Casananari Kittens, 2. Wolf 124 Paramedicals, 1. Hebo Hibernian, 2. So that's decals for Argon Tenaeus and Simmons, who apparently didn't have one. Please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a large empty box full of disappointment because there were no Hutton runs this week. Not a single one. Commanders were too busy, and it just could not be done. They ran around scanning things, they did not fly their ships, they exploded people with rocket guns, but made no Hutton trips. They farted in their realm locks, they farted in the bar. They did not fart at Hutton, the journey was too far. They did not go to Cubicle 3, they did not heed nature's call. They did not go there for a pee, and no one turned up for a good time on Tuesday afternoon, as advertised on the back of the lavvy door. Wouldn't mind, but it was my best handwriting too. So, tense, nervous headache? Back job not going as planned. Have they changed the route again? Are you in the middle of disarming a booby? Booby trapped. Nuclear device while fighting off a rabid tiger? Right, so now that we've discounted the really obvious stuff, why aren't you out there doing all of the things for Hutton? Do you know, maybe you are, and I've judged you harshly because your stats don't show in the Hutton Helper. How can we resolve this? Who could possibly help us? I know, the Powerpuff Girls! No, no. Here's an idea though. Why not go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper? That way we can be friends again. Okay, we don't have to be friends. It was just an idea. Let's face it, anything has to be better than having Blossom, Bubbles and Buttercup trying to link your Hutton Helper to your profile. My medication's wearing off now and the silent unicorn's starting to look angry, so I better hand you back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. That's informative as always. We're now going to go over to Aemilia Hawke, whose nerves have been quite frayed with some of the assignments she's been sent on for the Galnet Rares Digest. So I understand that this week she's been given a little treat.
Good evening. This is Aemilia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. This week, I've been sent to probably the calmest location that I've ever been to. The Jotun system has a single Earth-like world, Fanner. A near-perfect climate, gravity very similar to old Earth, and loved by many as a restful planet. It is temperate, with very few locations that have extreme geography or climate. It doesn't get too hot or too cold. There aren't huge hurricanes and tornadoes, and what little geographical activity there is turns out to be barely a rumble every 40 to 50 years. Along with the planet being a calm, peaceful place, the wildlife has reached a stable and harmonious equilibrium. There aren't vicious predators waiting around every corner to jump out and eat anything that walks past. There aren't any poisonous plants or vicious animated giant bacteria waiting to kill you. In fact, it's almost boring. However, the peaceful planet has one adorable, beautiful, redeeming feature. The Jotun Muka, a small, furry quadruped that likes nothing more than hunting for fallen seeds or snuffling for fruit on the forest floor. As a result of the low incidence of natural predators on the planet, it has developed bright, colourful fur, rainbow colours of blues, reds, yellows and greens. Some of the more rare of these creatures are a single colour, but the majority are a kaleidoscope of colour. At night, they climb into trees, munching away on whatever they can find in their sleep and cuddled up in small bunches in the crook of a branch or the bole of a tree. And they're adorable. They just scream, "Hug me," when you see one. Their fur is much prized, but you won't find it anywhere for sale. Not because they're protected. After all, there are poachers just about everywhere in the galaxy after a quick bundle of credits for something. They're beautiful to look at. They make anyone who sees one go, "Oh." But they're also very afraid of just about anything. So afraid that anything remotely startling actually causes them to die. They seem pre-engineered to make everyone sad. One minute you're looking at a stunning and cute little creature munching away on a piece of fruit. The next, its eyes go wide and it plummets from a tree. Stone cold, pushing up the daisies, gone to meet its maker, dead. Tree falls down nearby with a crash. You're surrounded by plummeting balls of colourful fur. Stiff breeze causes a door to slam. You'll hear a pathetic thump as the Muka sitting in your eaves drops to the ground. Walk too fast around a corner towards a group of them and you'll be faced with a sad little circle of ex-quadrupeds, stiff as a board, faces stuck with a startled expression and eyes locked wide open with fear. Male Muka are known to startle themselves to death just by finding a mate, let alone actually doing the do with them. The sheer terror of just meeting a female member of the species is enough to give them instant heart failure. Jotun Muka don't develop this characteristic until they pass puberty, meaning that the young are carefree and risk-taking, something that of course terrifies their parents to an early grave. But they're prolific as and when they do eventually mate, usually under the cover of dark where everything's less scary. This leads me to the bit they don't show you in the cutesy kids documentaries and cartoons. What happens after they head off to meet their maker? At the point of death, or possibly just at the point they're so scared that they decide to leave this mortal coil, from a distance you can see their lustrous fur loses its colour almost instantly. Their skin is covered in glands, possibly the same ones that they use to mark their territory or to attract a mate. When alive, the smell is wonderful, but as soon as they pass, well, they pass, quite literally excreting from their skin a dark brown sludge that coats every square inch of fur in a foul-smelling, disgusting-looking ick. What's more, it's toxic. It causes a nasty caustic rash on your skin, leaving you itching so hard that no amount of scratching will make you feel better. What was small, cute, adorable, and rainbow-coloured has become a nasty, toxic, disgusting-looking, sticky blob in a matter of seconds. This is why you can't buy the fur anywhere. However, certain of the more wealthy members of the followers of the Pranav Antal, the head of the utopian galactic power hippies, keep them as pets. They treat them as a way to help achieve full enlightenment. Keeping a Jotun Muka alive and not brown and sludgy is considered the height of hippie sophistication. You can't raise your voice, you can't have unexpected guests, you can't hurry or rush or crash and bash about. You can't undertake anything much more exciting than the odd bit of yoga or a light vegan dinner on the veranda in front of a beautiful sunset. The oldest Jotun Muka is said to be companion for the aging Guru Muka. Yes, he's taken the name from the creature, who sits on a remote mountaintop most evenings, contemplating the universe and everything in it, and speaking to no one. His Muka is said to be approaching 20 years old now, and has experienced nothing more startling than a gentle scratch under the chin every now and again in its long life. This is Aemilia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest, and I've spent most of this week in meditation, surrounded by the soft sound of nature, gentle fragrant smells, and I think I'm ready to see if I can cuddle one of these adorable bundles of fragile joy. There is a little troop of around 10 of them just outside the door of the commune here. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer. Oh, shit. Oh, that hurts. Oh, who put a sharp corner table right by the door? Oh no. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, these poor creatures. Oh, I've made a terrible noisy mistake. So you don't have to. Oh, that smells so bad.
What have you got on your shoe? Ah!
I wonder what that smells.
Horrible.
Oh, and we haven't even got a dog to blame it on. Oh.
So,
Never stopped you before.
No.
these things, they're so adorable, and then squelch, basically.
Yeah, that's. Oh. But if it makes you wonder, where did all that stuff come from? It must be inside them, and then.
It's just, and the smell.
Well, it makes it useful. Then you're ready to turn yourself into compost, aren't you? Certainly stops their corpse being picked over and eaten.
So I have to ask, who was typing in the script while I was reading it?
Muted.
No.
No one's going to admit.
Oh, you mean who was visually?
Who was actually typing so that the script was moving while I was
Well, it's
reading
bloody obvious
it?
because their name comes up when they type in the script.
I'm not on them where they are.
Oh, I
because
see.
they were typing at the bottom or at the top because the script was moving. The script was moving because someone was typing in it.
Yeah, no idea.
No,
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
No, it's your imagination. It wasn't moving for me. I managed to type all that. Oh shit!
It was when I was doing the BGS this afternoon.
Sorry, the what? The BDS?
The BGS and the bloody. Every time I tried to type something, the script disappeared.
Sure, you had to. I'm sure you meant to add another letter on the end of that.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it was busy time when you were doing that, putting things in.
Somebody was cutting and pasting.
Oh, that was me.
So it's you. Sean is the culprit.
No, not this time. No. I did all my work during the day.
Tisk, tisk.
Vantian's too busy.
They wrote all that.
Yeah.
About the sticky, farty creatures.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. Right, we can put the table back now.
Yeah, we'll have to. There's a bit of blood on it from her leg, but never mind.
Ooh, there's a bit of skin there as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
You know how many creatures had to die because of this?
I think we need to assure our listener
Don't poke it.
that not too many creatures were hurt in the making of this radio show. Only a few.
Well, I'm feeling upset.
Yeah, me too. It's over.
No.
It is now.
No, I'm talking about my beer, not the radio show.
But that too.
Right. That was ultimately quite disturbing.
It was.
Isn't everything that comes out of the Galnet Rares Digest?
Yes, I think it says a lot more about the state of the galaxy and the state of Vantian's mind than it does anything else.
I wonder how long he's been cooking that one.
As it were. Thank you, Simon. Yes. We'll get all the touching cloth jokes out of the way now.
Oh, yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Hard work.
Are you just trying to prolong until 10 a.m.?
No, I'm not going to. Last time you accused me of doing that, I ended up doing that, so I'm not going to.
So shall we mug this joint and go home?
It's 15:15 then.
I think we've done. Have we got anything else that we missed earlier?
Don't think so.
No,
No.
don't think so.
No.
We tend
All
to
right.
stick to this.
All right. Let's go while the pubs are still open then. No. I think. What shall we finish with then? What's
For the
mug!
For
the
mug. Where's the apology officer?
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug. Now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a large pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. No part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hudson, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so